It's a little slow. Sorry.
It was exciting for a minute, though. It was
I know.
exciting.
It's the music.
All right, y'all.
Now
Happy
we're good.
Wednesday. I think we're good, right, Evie?
Yep, we're good.
Take it away. Happy Wednesday. Happy June 12th. Happy middle of the month. That is the middle of the year. That is just keep cruising along, y'all. All right, let's get started with our welcomes. We have some joyful faces to welcome this week. Yuri, we are so happy to have you. Yuri, if you're on, just pop in the chat. The same for the rest of you who I announced today. Welcome, Yuri. Welcome, Maria. We are so happy to have you with us here. And last but not least, Crystal, welcome to the KW San Diego Metro family. If you see those three popping around the office or in the chat over here, be sure to say hi, welcome them, and let them know we're here to grow. All right, bucket fills. Who has a bucket to fill today? Something great you want to share with the group? Anyone? Anything? Something? Let's see who's on there. Who is on there that has something to share? I'm going to bucket fill for Gaga as one of our amazing Capper Academy people who is out there living her best life by design, following her passion of dance and doing the things, and still figuring out how to show up for her business consistently, attending, growing, doing all the things. She's closing deals. She's taking her coaching. Gaga, you are a pleasure to be in business with, and thank you for showing up and always giving 100%. I love that about you.
Oh, thank you. I just got in here. I was I was like, where did this come from? Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for the acknowledgement again. Thank
You
you so
are
much.
welcome. You are welcome.
If I may, I think
You
we
may.
should do a shout out to Evie and Nancy and you, Sarah, and Essence and Ari that made that office transition. How you guys did it in that short period of time with all that chaos. I just think it was a matter of the angels. So great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb Brown. That is appreciated across the board from the team. I know 100% on that one. You know, making magic happen is many hands make light work, as my mama always said. So thank you for that. And I hope you're all loving the space. I know I fell in love with that space the first minute I walked through it. So I hope everyone is. And we'll get to that space in one more second. But for now, let's pop over to our celebrations. We have some big anniversaries this month. First and foremost, I'd like everyone to pay attention to Sal's 20-year celebration that is on this slide. And we are certainly in conversation with bringing Sal something extra special for 20 years. The team and I were talking about, you guys might think these slides just pop up and what happens with them. We look at them, we look at your time, we are honoring it, and we are working diligently on how can we give back more to the humans who continue to stay in business with us and we grow together? Because that's what makes Metro so special, the longevity of the humans and the connectivity that happens there. So Sal likes food. Yeah, we've got him dialed in, but 20 years, you guys, that's a big deal. And last month we had a lot of 19 years. So he's not a lone soldier. Thank you to all of you and happy anniversary. It truly means the most to us that we choose to stay in business together year after year. And then our leaderboards came out, which are always fun to see who's a new face, who's a consistent face, all that good stuff. So we have our year-to-date top 10 on the left and our top 15 for the month of May on the right. Congratulations to everyone. There are a few fresh faces on that top 15 for the month. We see you and we're excited for you. And of course, we're excited for the ones that are the frequent flyers. Y'all are awesome at what you do. And again, with the top groups and the top teams. So congratulations to everybody. Those are the year-to-dates for those groups. And that's it. Okay. So how we were just talking about the space, and sometimes you'll see it called the new space. And for anyone who's been homing at Mission Valley this whole time, obviously it's not new to you, but it is newly the headquarters. It's newly our home base, or our mothership, as I always would refer to the main space. So I just want to put that out there. If you see it called new, you're like, it's not new. It's newly the mothership, right? So it's our new home base. So I know we've been throwing a lot of parties and fun things lately. We want to make sure that that's connected tissue is like all in alignment there. We are having a lunch celebration on Monday, partially to celebrate the new office space, new to you, new if it's new to you, right? Partially because you might notice that's market stats, y'all. I'm going to post it 100 times, probably not 100, but a few. Market stats in person on Monday, not on Wednesday, but on Monday next week. And that's because we're closed on Monday for Juneteenth, okay? So normal timing, lunch, party celebration before, stay for the meeting, market stats, what's been going on through May. Monday, it is Monday. It's Monday. Okay. So that's happening on Monday. Come on, food and drink is provided. This is not a potluck. Just come, eat, drink, and be merry. We're excited to celebrate. And then, but wait, there's more. On Tuesday, we have the fabulous Jean Rivers and the listing clinic on Tuesday. Watch party. This is free to y'all. We have covered the cost. Jean is amazing. I will beat that drum again. I won't go on and on because I have an amazing guest speaker for you today. But Jean will give you, I promise, at least one, way more than one, nugget that you can go out and implement immediately and grow your business and take listings. Who wants to take listings in this market? Who wants to take listings always? Who wants to be in charge of their money? Listings. Jean Rivers will give you tips and tricks and techniques to go build your business through listings starting on Tuesday. Take action that day. It is open to all. You will come into the training room. You will watch it in person. We will have a lot of people there. We will be masterminding all around it. It will be amazing. Tuesday, Jean Rivers Listing Clinic. Risk management with Broker Bob is the end of the month. So that is the last Wednesday of the month. That is that meeting. That is also in person in the Mission Valley office. Okay. So those will keep getting posted. But since we had a little change on the calendar, we want to make sure you all see it. And Wednesday we're closed. So make sure you know how to get in and get what you need on Wednesday because Juneteenth is a holiday. Oh, look at that, how it just flows together like magic, Evie. Juneteenth is a holiday. We are closed. How do you print? How do you access the office? How do you do all the things you want to do? Make sure you get the answers starting today, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay? Not in a panic on Wednesday, please. Fair warning, it's a week ahead. All right, y'all. Eddie, Matt, I see you both. Who wants to share a movement mortgage update and what's going on out there in the world?
I got a bunch of good stuff for you guys. All right, number one, the California, the Golden State Finance Authority, right, which is one of the California-based down payment assistance programs, came out with a new program for anybody that was impacted from the 2018 and 2020 fires in California. All right. There's certain areas that it pertains to. However, the program is incredible. It is helping people with up to $350,000 in down payment assistance, y'all, which can make a huge impact. And it's forgivable in 5 years. So as long as you live in the home for 5 years, they will forgive anything up to that 350. So for instance, if you lost your home and you have to be under the 80% area median income. In San Diego, it's $95,600. That will still buy you a condo. That will buy you a home here in San Diego. Okay. It takes into account household incomes. There's a lot of guidelines to this. But say you can only qualify for $200,000. You can buy a place up to $550,000, y'all. They will give you the difference. It's an amazing program to help those that had lost their homes back in the fires. So that's number one. Number two, the VA has come out with clarification today that they are allowing buyers to pay for broker buyer compensation. It is now in their books. They're changing it. It is a temporary fix until your side of the industry figures things out. But they are allowed to, as of August 10th. As of August 10th, they are allowed to start paying for buyer broker compensation. And then the last part that I want to let you guys know, and what I'll do is I'll share the guidelines or the very specific verbiage that they have on that on the Facebook page. So you guys have that. And then lastly, the Fed did have a meeting today. They kept rates the same. And in the speech that he had, it made it sound like we're hopefully going to see some sort of pressure, that relief here in the next, hopefully by the end of the year. So rates are getting better today significantly. So that's my update. And if you guys have any questions about any of those things that I just mentioned, please don't hesitate to reach out to Matt or I. I think I kept that under 2 minutes, didn't I, Evie?
I think you did. I don't ever run the actual timer, Eddie, but I appreciate your timeliness always. Thank you for that. So next up, we have our escrow partner spotlight. The role of Jacqueline Graham will be played by me today. Jacqueline is away attending a training session. So our agent spotlight this week is for Joseph Acosta. Joseph has just opened escrow with Escrow Partners. We are super excited that he has put his faith and trust in Pixie Dust, in Nicole and Jacqueline and the company with Ashley. And we are looking forward to an amazing escrow. So thank you, Joseph, and congratulations on working with us. All right, Team Alicia, let's hear your coaching and mentorship spotlight.
Hopefully you can hear me okay and it's not too echoey because we've got a couple different
You're good, girl.
going on. Okay, cool. So as always, Sam and Yanni are on here, of course, every week. They opened escrow, another escrow with a buyer. They are in growth with me. And then Christian got his very first BRBC signed, and that's a big one. He got it, I believe, signed at 3%, and their sales price is up to 3.5 million. So good for him.
Congratulations, Christian. Congratulations, Sam and Yanni. And I love the thunderous applause that sounded like a track in the background, but it was in real life in the conference room with you. Yeah. That was awesome. Way to go, you guys. Congratulations. Is that it for you, Alicia? All set. All right. Who has a property to pitch, a listing coming soon, something you want to share with the group today? Raise your hand digitally or just speak out. Go ahead, Debbie.
Yeah, I've got a great new listing in North Park, 4105 Iowa Street, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, corner lot, super cute, like craftsman cot bungalow style home. Lots of amenities, you guys. It's got grass, hard to find in North Park, right? Little white picket fence, a detached small 1-car garage, tandem driveway. You can park 2 cars there and put all your storage stuff in the garage. A nice little side yard, market lights. Just real quickly, some of the amenities, Samsung stainless steel appliances, gas stove, 5 burners, Kohler farm stand sink, 7-inch baseboards in living room, 2 of the bedrooms, crown molding, surround sound in the living room, like lots of bells and whistles. You guys have to come see. I have an open house this Saturday from 10 to 3. So please come bring your clients. We'd love to see you.
Awesome,
it's
Debbie.
At $9.99.
Excellent work. Congratulations. Drop the address in the chat so people can see it along with the price, please. Bridget, I see your hand is up.
Hey, Metro family. I've got another one coming up on Friday of this week. It's over in Singing Hills. If you're not familiar, it's like East El Cajon, kind of north of Hamul. Beautiful area, overlooks a golf course, and it's under $750. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A detached home under $750. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1526 square feet. So if you are interested in showing it, it should be available to show probably starting Friday or Saturday. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Awesome, Bridget. Thank you. Did anyone else have a listing to share or coming soon to go over? Speak now or forever hold your peace. our guest speaker is here early, so I will let him talk early if no one else has anything to share. All right, if you have anything else, drop it in the chat. Em, I just saw you pop on. Did you have to share? Okay. If you have a listing to share, throw it in the chat or throw it on the Facebook page. Buyer needs listings coming soon so we can get to it. It is June. It is midway through the month, which will be midway through the year in a couple of weeks. And I asked my coach and this awesome human to come on and be another voice for y'all to hear. Talk about how do we win in the second half of the year? What is most important now? And the reality is, you hear from me, you hear from Ashley. We don't make the same impact because you hear from us all the time. And so we're just not as exciting, quite frankly. So I want you to hear from someone else. Brian Martin is my coach. I've been coaching with him for quite a while. He was a top agent in California. He was a professional stand-up bass player, if you're into music and think that's cool. When I asked him for a resume, he doesn't want to give it to me because he doesn't like to brag or boast about himself. So I'm just going to tell you things that I know already. He moved to Austin to be a team leader. He was a #1 team leader. He's been crushing it as an executive mastery coach. Ashley, anything I'm missing about Brian that we should share with the group before he gets started?
I would say he's in the top 2 smartest people in the company.
Top 2 smartest people in the company. She says that repeatedly. That's not
And
just
Ashley.
because he's here.
It's me and Ashley. I'm just kidding.
I'm well aware, my friend.
It's the 2 of us. Yeah.
All right. So Brian, take it away. Thank you for being here.
I will. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Everybody here, I'm happy to see those of you that are on the screen. That's awesome. I'm like an interactive person. So I have a whole list of questions here. So we can either do it the really boring way, which is just me like, going question, like over and over and over again, or it can be interactive. And by interactive, I mean, you can put stuff in the chat. If you're like feeling kind of antisocial, you put stuff in the chat, right? Or you can come off, you can put your camera on, you can unmute as I'm doing it. We'll get into some live coaching scenarios. But I do have a lot of things for us to go through. And I think it's because we have a lot of opportunity in front of us. Do you feel that? We're going to start all the way back though. We're halfway through the year. So we have to start all the way back, probably back in October or November or maybe December or at some point before the beginning of this year. You had some goals. Do you remember this? You set goals. Did you set goals before the first of the year? And some of them were business. Great. I love it. I love seeing people's faces and they're going like, yeah. Make sure you're holding up the right finger though. If you're going to hold up a finger, the thumb's a good one or like a #1, just careful with the other ones. Okay. So here's the deal. What were your goals when you started the year? Right? We were at the end of 1 year. We're looking forward. Everything about the first of the year is all about possibility, right? Everything's possible. It's a new year. It's a new me. Everything's new, right? And we have goals. So did you write them down? Did you have a plan? Yes? You could do this like yes, or you could do no, or you could do wah. Okay. So if you had goals, cool. Did you write them down? Okay, great. What caused you to write those goals down? And what I mean by that is, Bridget wrote them down. Yes. Plan, vague, right? We're working on it. We're working on it. Okay, great. Chris, you said my coach. The coach made you do it? Or, okay, yes. Okay, great. Here's what I want to encourage you to do. Don't write a goal anymore unless it means something for you personally. Even if you have your coach can call me if they want, but I believe this, right? Like if you have something personal you want to do with your life, then your goal is going to fund that, or your goal is going to give you the time to go do that or something, right? It makes it so that it actually matters. Sometimes I think people put a goal out there because they go like, well, I closed, 12 transactions last year. So this year I'm going to close 15. Why? Because it's 3 more than 12. Right? Or I closed, 15 million. Now I'm going to close 20 million. Why? Because it's about a third more. Oh, exciting. Well, that means you'll definitely do it, right? So I guess what I'd first encourage you in is a little bit of what we're talking through here is the mindset and questions to ask yourself to kind of set yourself up for the second half of the year, right? So whatever you did at the beginning of the year was kind of your test run for 2024. And now we're here at the midpoint going, do we know what's going to happen for the rest of the year? Does anybody have a pretty good feeling about what 2024 holds for you? Okay, I got this. I got a no. Anybody? Anybody want to come off mute and just tell me what to expect for the rest of the year? Okay, you guys are seeing through my coach magic, right? Here's what coach magic tells me is, at the end of last year, I heard things like, okay, Brian, here's what's going to happen, right? You're going to see interest rates go down in the first and second quarter. Anybody else hear this one? And it's going to drive real estate, and we're going to drive the economy through real estate because more people are going to be jumping in the market. It's going to be crazy, right? Because it's an election year. You don't understand. This is election year. And in election years, people do that. This isn't political. In an election year, people do that, and both sides take credit, right? Anybody else hear that one? I did. Were they right? No. See, predictions like that are usually not right. I bring... I think I was talking to Sarah, and I said, this is going to sound weird for a second, but when it comes to perspective or mindset, we were given a gift when it came to like all the things we went through with COVID. I'm not saying COVID was a gift, but the experience was a gift, right? I went to the Keller Williams family reunion in Dallas in February of 2020. Was anybody else there? Yeah. Okay, great. It was good to see you there. It was good to see like 12,000 other people there in a conference center halfway through February 2020. And how many conversations were being had about COVID?
No.
Yeah, it's a round number. There was one mention of it, and it was in Gary Keller's vision speech, and he said things to be aware of, like we might just be watching it. Oh, there's some stuff going on. It's in other countries. It's not really in the United States yet. We'll see. Okay. 2 weeks later, roughly about 2 weeks later, I was in Austin. I had closed on my house. I was moving from California back to Austin, and I closed on a house there, right? First week of March. And then the next day I went to a meeting at KWRI, and they were talking about it had all become real. Now they're talking about like shutting down the country. 2 weeks later, right? They're talking about shutting down the country for 2 weeks. And the debate in the room that day was, should we still plan on holding our mastermind event that was going to be happening at the end of April in Las Vegas with a couple thousand people? And people were debating this, right? I'm bringing all this up not to go like, no, I didn't like that part, Brian. I don't like the way that feels. It's because people aren't good at predicting the future. And for the most part, people predict negative things about the future if they're experiencing something negative. Or if they're experiencing something positive, they predict positive things about the future. And what I would challenge you with is, no matter what happens, if we're thinking big, we'll find an opportunity. Okay? So the reason I went through all of that, if you're going like, what is this guy going to get on with? I thought he has questions. I do. These are all the questions I have. Okay? But here's the point. If you've come this far in the year and you go, yeah, I know what 2024 is going to hold for me. If you've already kind of written it in pencil, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be disappointed. What I would challenge you with is today, choose something as a goal, a personal goal that's exciting for you. How would it feel for the rest of this year to wake up and go, okay, I'm going for something big, right? I'm going to do something with friends of mine, or I'm going to take my family on a trip, or I'm going to go on a vacation myself, or I want to, buy a new car, or I could pay off debt, or I could put money in an investment account, or I could buy a piece of real estate, right? Because for years, all I heard people talk about was, like if the market creates opportunity for us, just watch. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to be one of those people. I'm going to be selling all the real estate, and I'm going to be buying all the real estate. Anybody else hear that, or am I just in like the weird? Am I just in the weird realtor groups? I'm just kidding. I hear it all the time. But the point is, like, great. So it's a time of opportunity, whatever it is that we're experiencing, right? If we go back again to the beginning of the year, right? We looked at our goals. Were you wanting the market to change, or did you commit to change? Did you want the market to, when you set those goals, were you wanting the market to change? Like, come on, give us one, lower interest rates, please, 5%. Or did you say, no, it's going to be different this year because I'm going to be different, right? I started doing something weird, which was in January. I didn't start at the first of the year. I started maybe around the middle of January. I decided I was going to start running again. So I started running a couple of years ago. I had a challenge to run a marathon, and I wasn't a runner. I wasn't in good shape. I wasn't anything. And I went couch to marathon in 16 weeks. Anybody else crazy? I don't suggest that, by the way. There's a lot of things you can do in 16. I would train for the marathon. I'd do it longer next time. So what I did is I developed some plantar fasciitis in my right foot. And so I stopped running. I ran a marathon, ran a couple half marathons, and then I stopped. And I went, I don't like that because I can't walk afterwards, right? So it's been feeling better. I've been doing different things to take care of it. This year I said, this is my version of change as a personal goal for me, right? I'm going to run. And my version of it was run 5K a day. So the first day I put on my shoes and I went and ran. Ran 3.5, well, it's 3.1 miles, but I ran 3.5 miles. Okay. And then the second day I put on my shoes. I went, okay, you got to figure out how to run 3.5 miles again. Third day, I had to figure out, because I was doing it every day. Right. And at first you just got to figure out how to get your shoes on and go make it happen. Then eventually you got to figure out, like, do I actually, like, you know, my things were like, am I wearing the right shoes? It helps if you're wearing the right shoes, right? Am I hydrated, right? Like I would run and then I'd like drink a little bit of water and be like, oh, that's cool. Then I'm like, why does my body hurt all the time? Right. But the point is, like, what I did is created a goal. I broke it down. I had a plan that I've been executing on it since then. I track it right here. I'm at 524 miles so far this year. How am I doing? Anybody else? It's funny because I brought it up in something, and it's like one of those get to know you things where you're supposed to share something that people wouldn't know about you. And I said, I run 100+ miles a month. And they're like, why do you do that? How do you do that? And I'm like, you just run like 3 or 4 miles a day and you're fine. You know? But the point is, take a big goal, take something, break it down, figure out what to add to it for you. Okay. We've kind of gone through our goal setting. What did we do? What have you experienced so far? So the goals you set, are you on track? This is on track for those playing along at home. This is like, kinda. And this is like, I'm not hitting the goals yet. Okay, so we got some kinda, we got some not yets, got some not yets. Okay, cool. Everybody else, you just haven't set goals, or? Okay. Were the thumbs down, was that for the goals or for me? I'm kidding. We're friends. Thank you, Deborah. If I call you out, it means you're special for me. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. You're catching me at the end of, I'm in Texas, right? So you're catching me at the end of my workday, which is challenging. I don't usually do things at this time that involve people because my brain starts to do weird things. So anyway, okay. So what have you gone through so far, right? What have you expected? Is it anything close to like what you'd expected in the beginning of the year, or is it different? We'll just say like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I have to tell you what it means. This one would mean like, yeah, it's everything I expected. Or this would mean like, nope, different. Okay, different. Got it. Are you clear on what's actually happening in your market? Okay, who wants to come off mute and talk to me for a minute?
When you say like our market, do you mean like what's going on in San Diego, or like what's going on with the real estate world in general with all these changes? Or
I would say like in your real estate market. So the area that you serve, right? If you were to say like, these are my people, this is my area, right? When I see somebody else's sign go up, I go, what? That should say Bridget on it, not Joe or whoever, right? That's kind of your market, the area that you would go list a home or the buyers you would represent. And when I say what's actually going on there, what I mean is like, if I were to ask you, how many closed sales happened in that market in the last 30 days, could you answer that? Okay. Chris, you're saying yes?
Yes, and I have the number right here.
Okay, beautiful. Share it with me.
All right.
Oh wait, did you just open like your book of facts?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, great. What do we got?
Yeah, I do this every month. I made a video too.
Perfect.
I haven't edited it yet though. But yeah, so in my market, I can tell you that this year, and I do it for the month, and then I do it January through whatever month.
Okay,
So
great.
in single family in 9116, 21 houses were listed, 11 pending, 12 sold. The median sales price is $1.2 million with a 96.4% list price to sale price in 27 days on the market.
Okay, so I'm sorry, how many sales?
Their closed sales 12.
12. Okay.
Okay.
And okay, and so we had 24 sides, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and what was your goal?
Well, to just get one because I'm trying to, there's a retiring agent, so my goal is to take over that specific zip code, which is why I write blogs and do videos on that specific zip code.
Great. So you could hit your goal.
With that,
So you could hit your goal. You could hit your goal multiple times.
yes,
Just in what
absolutely.
we've experienced, right?
Yes.
Okay. Part of the reason I'm bringing it up is because I think people say, yes, Chris, first of all, congratulations. Thank you for having numbers, right? If we are real estate professionals, professionals have numbers, professionals have data, professionals have facts, right? Why would somebody pay a real estate agent $60,000 or something for commission and they don't know what's going on with the rest of the market? If that felt like I was attacking you, I'm sorry. I didn't say no, not you, Chris. I'm just saying if anybody felt attacked, I wasn't attacking. I just said, did I say y'all? I'm just kidding. I think I said you. I'm from California, but I've lived in Texas. So sometimes I use one or the other based on how I want it to feel. Don't you do that? Don't y'all do that? I'm just kidding. But yeah, track the numbers of your market, right? Many of you know this, but do you do this on a regular basis? Set up a hot sheet, set up something in your MLS. Most of the time you can set up a hot sheet or a search. And I'd be looking at new properties that were listed, under contract, closed units, or whatever it's called in your market, expireds. Anybody know what's going on with expireds in your market? What's that, Chris?
There not many. There's
Not many?
No, there might be 3 a week in my specific zip code. Or
Okay.
I mean 3 a month. Very
Okay.
few.
Okay. You keep an eye on it. Expireds, withdrawals or canceled, right? Anytime the market moves even a little bit, if you're paying attention and other agents aren't, then those other agents are going to go on listing appointments. They're going to tell people, homes sell in 2 seconds and we get 50 offers, right? That home's going to come back on the market for you to list it and then actually sell it because you can be honest with them if you have the data and if you have the information, right? So I would watch that. I would watch, expireds, withdrawals or cancels. Look at the trend of what's happening with days on the market. And the other one I would look at, representing buyers and sellers, price reductions. I would track it by percentage and also by dollar, right? So in a price point, like maybe many of you experience, like like say like $1 million to $2 million, what's a typical price reduction that actually sells the home? From 2 million to 4 million, what's a price reduction that actually sells the home? And I would look at it based on percentages, and then also by, is it a $20,000 reduction, or is it a percentage of the home that you see most consistently? Make sense? Okay. If you know what's going on in the market, right? Like Chris, you shared that. I appreciate it. The reason I said you can hit your goal is because I think if most people looked at the market, they'd go, actually, in the last 14 days, in the last 30 days, I would have had to capture a lot more of the market that was available, yet I could have hit my goal just in that time. Those of you that track your numbers, do you agree that that's true? Okay, so then the question is, do we create business, or do we actually just capture it? See, even if it's a zip code of a smaller area, Chris, like you're focused on, right? You say there's 24 sides. That means 24 checks were written. And if our goal was 1, really our job was just to go get in the middle of one of those transactions. Or maybe you're looking at a larger geographic area, and you go, yeah, well, my goal, for the year so far would have been 10 units or 10 sales, right? Well, if you look at that market and there's 200 sales, could you have hit your goal? Yeah, so sometimes we have the story of the real estate market's challenging right now, or nobody's selling, or nobody's listing their house. When we jump into the facts, not only does it help us to guide our home buyers and home sellers in a different way, but it actually causes us to think in a different way and go, it's not about me generating more business. It's about me connecting with enough people such that when they buy or sell, they call Brian. So just teach all your clients that when they want to buy or sell, they can call Brian. No, I'm just kidding. Have them call you. Are we doing okay so far?
We're doing
Okay.
good. I think. Hi, Brian. This is Emily. How are you?
Hi. Good.
I think that for some of the newer peeps on here, I would say that our office is not, I don't know a ton of people in our office other than Chris that specialize in a zip code.
Yeah.
San Diego County is so large that a lot of people get in it. And if they were to be pigeonholing themselves and almost shooting themselves in the foot from the beginning. So for anybody that's set goals either during business planning last October or, is setting them now as a brand new agent, all you need to think about is what Ashley tells us every month in market stats of how many sides there are per month in our market. And there are plenty for every single one of us to meet every single one of our goals any given year or month. So that's kind of all you have to remember, even though there you go. Last month was 1777 transactions times
Sales.
2, right, Sarah?
Right.
Yeah. So we can all meet all our goals, right? And live a pretty awesome life with that. And that's what everybody needs to remember. Oh, and Carolyn specializes in a zip code if you want to jump on, Carolyn, and talk about yours.
Well, I think the whole point of that, thank you, Emily. I think what you said is important, right? When I got started in real estate, Sarah, I misled you, I guess, at some point. I actually started selling real estate when I was in Austin. That was, after I had lived in California as a musician. Then I moved to Austin, started selling real estate. And it was right at the end of 2007, which is great. If you like it when all the banks shut down and they don't fund the homes that were supposed to be sold, that's a great time to get into real estate. That's what I did. And, but what I did was, Chris, you were saying you write a blog or you do different things, right? I kind of, I played in that space, early in 2007, 2008, 2009. And I kind of realized something, which is that, if you want to fight for Austin real estate, there's huge companies that would just buy all the, sponsored pay-per-click, all that other stuff, and make it so there's no way you could even show up, right? So then I started going okay, North Austin. I'll just take half the geographic. I'll just take 500,000 people, right? I'm like, that's stupid. That didn't work. Okay, Northwest Austin homes, right? So I started writing about Northwest Austin homes, but specifically 2 larger subdivisions, right? I would sell anywhere. I mean, I would sell anywhere that I could drive. In an hour. I'm gonna represent people in that area. That's how I built the business. Yet, if somebody called me based on what the areas I was targeting, which is what I'm hearing here, if somebody called me on the areas that I was targeting, because I would actually show up after I started writing enough articles, I would show up on the first, page of Google for these subdivisions, for these zip codes. It was pretty easy for me to go in and get the listing because I actually previewed all the houses. I actually knew every home sale. I knew the details of every sale. I tracked all the numbers like this, and I could sit there in your living room and go, all right, well, you want to sell your house? You're not going to sit down with anybody that has more information about what to do than me.
I would agree with that, and that's why I'm just focusing on that little part.
Yeah.
One, because I live here, and two, because there's someone retiring, and three, I've known she's retiring for a while, so I've just started greasing the wheels months and months ago. And I've started getting recognized just walking my dogs. So that's why I would encourage everybody to do one. Just do one. And just know your numbers in that one zip code.
Yeah, and it's something that, depending on whatever your goals are, right? You're going to want to look at what are the available number of sales? What else, who else am I competing with? What kind of activity would I need to have such that I can meet my goals in the area that I work in, right? It may cause you to expand into a larger area or a couple different areas or something like that. But to be able to start with one is really important. I want to go through a little exercise here, okay? We talked about some of the opportunities we have in today's market, what people are experiencing. Do you communicate with enough people to hit your goals? Chris said no. Chris, you're so good at interacting with me. I don't know if are we friends?
I think
I'm
we
just kidding.
should be.
Okay. Okay. Here's the deal. So are we communicating with enough people? Here's how you would know. Okay. Now this is based on data from Keller Williams University. They track people's businesses and everything they do, right? And then they look at like how would you actually know if you're communicating with enough people? So first we're going to do an exercise. It's kind of fun, right? Just to see like how many people do you actually know. So do you have a like a iPhone like this? That's my kids. That's a couple years ago. They're older than that now. If you have an iPhone, go to the phone, okay? Click on contacts, scroll all the way down to the bottom. If you don't have an iPhone, there's probably something else you can do. I just don't know how to help you. But if you go to contacts, you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a number down there that shows how many contacts you have. What does the number say? Put it in the chat or say it out loud or give me something. What do you got? 2058. Come on. 1798. We're going to start doing these meetings at 7 a.m. if you guys don't start participating. 998. Come on. 78. Okay. Melanie, you got to get everything put in this phone. What else? 1831. Okay, great. We're seeing numbers. 188, 769. Here's the beautiful part. Whatever your number is, that's your number, right? These are people. These are all people, right? Okay, good. They're probably people. These are all people that can refer you people to sell real estate. I mean, that you can help them to buy or sell real estate. Correct? Even if they're in other markets, even if they're like, I always like it when people go like, yeah, but some of these are other realtors. It's like, okay, well, I've listed the house of another realtor. Have you? I worked with somebody who was investing in real estate and I was the agent and they were also an agent. Probably also why as a coach, I coach other coaches. Anyway, the point is like you have like a line drawn that may not be serving you if there's any limitation of what you're hearing today. So here's what you do. You take your number, okay? Take the number that you put in the chat, multiply it by 6.37%. So if you have a calculator, you just have a phone. So go to the calculator on your phone, put your number in times 0.0637. What number did you get? this is a magic number. 6.37% is actually, this is 6.37% of the database that you have that you communicate with at least a 36 touch annually will turn into a direct referral for a sale. Deborah, we missed a decimal point, I think. So your number times 0.0637. Yeah, 0.0637. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to go to the numbers now. 127, 100, 300. Okay. Okay, we got good numbers here. Stop laughing, Emily. Oh, sorry. Okay. Is it okay if we have fun? I should have asked that in the beginning.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so here's another thing you can figure out. If you take your goal, like if your goal was to sell 12 homes this year, right? Then you take 12. This is a math trick, 12 divided by 0.0637, and you get the number 188.38. Okay, I would call that 189. So if you wanted to close 12 transactions based on this math, just from people that you'd have to speak with. You'd have to have a 36 touch set up with 189 people annually. There's a lot of different ways to set up your 36 touch. I'm going to tell you my version of it. You can do email touches. You can connect with them on social media. You can send them stuff. You can have events. You call them every 6 weeks. Anybody excited? Every 6 weeks? So if you take 189 people, you call them every 6 weeks, right? Then we take 189 divided by 6. It means you're going to talk to 32 people every week. So again, the math would be you talk to 32 people a week. That means you're going to be talking to them on the phone every 6 weeks or twice a quarter. Okay? That's 8 times throughout the year. You have at least, what is that? Another 28 touches, right? Those can be emails, newsletters, events, social media interaction, like whatever else it is, right? Pop buys, pie days, turkey days, pumpkin days, Christmas trees. I love the way people get creative. I got somebody that they rent a truck, like a moving truck, and they fill it full of Christmas trees, and then they bring them back to their market and they just give them out to everybody. And everybody's like getting their Christmas trees, and they do this, they do the same thing with the church. Anyway, it gets exciting. But the point is, that's your math. So whatever your goal is, look at your goal divided by, yeah, Bridget, if you contact like a tree farm, they're in like Oregon and Washington, and then you say like, I'm going to buy a lot of trees, they'll give you a good deal. So you take your goal divided by 0.0637, and that would tell you how many people you could contact. Well, I would say every 6 weeks plus 20 other touches. So you could actually get all of that from referral. Is there opportunity in that for you? Like, do you think if you wanted to close 12 transactions a year, you could call, what is that, 32 people? Is that what I said? 32 people a week. So that's like 6 people a day, 7 people a day. Could you call 7 people that you know a day? Okay. Well, we're done. No, I'm just kidding. So then here's the deal. So you have to create a daily standard then. So like we just did some math and we said, we're going to contact 7 people a day. You don't need a crazy system for that. Do you? I mean, if your number is 189, you don't need much of a system for that. You need action first. We can track things once we're doing it, right? The reason I shared that crazy example about me running, okay, I'll do the math in just a second. The reason I shared that crazy example about me running, I didn't set up a system for it first. I didn't know how I was going to track it. By the way, it doesn't take a lot to track how much you run. Here's how I do it. I got this, somebody gave me this Volkswagen calendar, right? Because I had a Volkswagen that looked like it looked like this one, but it was cream colored, right? And I would drive it around. I lived in Santa Cruz, so I would drive it around in Santa Cruz with surfboards on the top and go camping and stuff like that, right? It's cool. And so I got this calendar, and this calendar was sitting here, and I started going like, well, I want to know how much I'm running. So then I actually write it in here every day. Here's how much I run every day, right? Those are the miles. And then I just add it up, right? I'm looking at it. It's kind of cool. My original goal was run 1,000 miles this year. I'm on track right now. I'm stretching a little bit to 1,200. Simple, not easy. It's the same thing here, right? So we could take 189 people. You can put 189 people in a simple spreadsheet if you want. I get it. We have technology. Good. You should move to that when you feel comfortable with it. Just like it mattered what shoes I was wearing after I was already running. Right? Until then, it's kind of like, who cares? Who cares if you're wearing the right clothes or the right shoes or the right, like if you're getting hydrated or not, or if you get enough rest, or if you know how to get your muscles to stop cramping. Like, who cares? Because you're not going to do it anyway, right? Once you take the action, it actually matters. So you're going to set up your structure. What I would have you ask yourself is, what standards do I have for myself? If this is my goal, this is my business that's going to fund my goal, what standards do I set for myself? If it's 7 people a day, great. Don't stop working until you talk to 7 people a day. If it's a 36 touch, or if it's a, some people will say like, oh, it has to be 72 touch, or it has to be whatever, right? So, okay, great. Set your standard. Just come up with a simple plan, right? Once we've established it, okay, sorry, I said I would go back through the math. So the math is this: take your goal, the number of sales that you would like to have, you divide that by 0.0637. So if your goal was 10 units, right, you divide it by 0.0637, it would be 156.9, right, or 157 people. So then you're looking at, what's my communication plan to communicate consistently with 157 people? I'm going to challenge you to call them at least every 6 weeks. That's twice a quarter, 8 times a year. I say that because guess what? Is the market changing? Does it change rapidly or slowly? Do you have any new information today that you didn't have 6 weeks ago? Yeah, it changes, right? So even the guidance where people say like, call them once a quarter, I'm like, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss some. Like, you're going to go, oh yeah, I'll call you again. Like, what is today? It's June. So I'll call you in September. I'll probably miss some stuff. Anything changed for you in the last 6 weeks? It has for me. School's out. I got kids here. I got cousins here. Help me. No, I'm just kidding. We're having fun. I get like 10 people swimming in the pool every day. Anyway, what's your structure? Okay, we're close to the end. So if you're like, this is garbage, is this guy done yet? Almost. And if you're thinking, this is golden, thank you so much for this. I
The
think it's
texts
being
I'm
recorded.
getting say otherwise, then this is garbage. I'm getting great feedback from the ones who aren't participating live.
Great. Okay, great. So here's the final questions I have for you. Who do you need to share your goal with so you stay on track? Like, why do I share the stupid running goal with you? Because I have this thing where maybe you're going to see me at Mega Camp, right? And what I would choose for you to do is go like, how's the running going? Right? I told this group of people that I was running, right, through my church, and this guy comes up last Sunday, he goes like, how's the running going? I was like, awesome. He goes, did you run today? And I said, yeah. He goes, even on Sundays? I'm like, yeah. It's been like 116 out of the last 120 days. Yeah. That's almost every day. Yeah, so Sundays too. But it was like, great. In a way, it was like, I want to keep running. That guy might just ask me again. One of you might ask me again. As silly as it is, that's introducing a different kind of accountability in your life, right? Just tell people about it. They'll help you keep on track. What skills need to be built for your activities to be more effective? What skills can you build that'll make your activities more effective? There's 3 that I recommend. 1, sales. What was the last sales book you read? You'll know it's a sales book because it usually has sales in the title. I'll give you one. Ready? Selling in a Crisis by Jeb Blunt. It's somewhere here. Where is it? I don't know. But Selling in a Crisis by Jeb Blunt. That one's great. Very timely. It tells you how you can work on your mindset, your activities, how to communicate, what to say, what not to say, all that stuff. It's awesome. Sales, leadership, and communication. Those are the areas I would recommend right now. Sales, leadership, and communication. Even though some people look at this as a sales job, it's leadership. You're going to have people going through all different kinds of situations right now, right? They lose a loved one, right? They're going through something in their life. Something happens. Their kids just graduated. Now they don't want to. Now they're going to downsize the home. Whatever it is, right? They're going through something in their life. That's leadership when you help them. So build skills around that. Communication. The amount of information that's being put in front of people right now is obscene. So is your communication clear enough that they can hear it? And then final question. Ready? There's something that you need to stop doing in order for you to hit your goals. I don't know what it is. But the question for you is, what do I need to stop doing such that I can hit my goals? And that might not mean you need to stop doing it all the time. It means you need to stop doing it, within the structure of your day so that you can be more effective. Right? Like maybe you need to stop picking up your dry cleaning during your workday. Is that weird? Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe you need to have a set time. You need to stop having total freedom or autonomy of your timing and introduce some of these structures in place so that you can hit your goals. Which again, we're not talking about some weird esoteric business goal. We're talking about these are the things you do in your business and it funds the things you want in your life. Robert, where have you been? I've been waiting for you, man. Thank you for that answer. Yeah, we need to stop effing around, right? So the point is I'm just kidding. I've seen you on here, but that answer, I'm like, you're okay. Now you're speaking my language. Okay. I was only told that I could speak for a little bit and that time is pretty close to up. So what I want to hear is, what did you hear? And specifically, what are you going to do? One at a time, please.
Write my goal down and tell everyone about it.
Okay,
And
write
then-
your goal.
Oh, sorry. And then put a plan in place to meet it based on that 6.37%. So I already ran the numbers. We're good.
Great. So then I would say, there's probably a lot of places you could go with that information. So what I would encourage you to do is, here's how you create your plan. You write down all the things you think you could do to get started in the plan, and then go through the list again and write a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3 next to the 3 that are the most important. And then we're just going to do number 1 until it's done.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sometimes we hear that and we go well, what I could do is get my whole plan together, or what I could do is start calling people tomorrow, or what I could do is figure out all the different things I could do throughout the year, right? And it's well, we're going to create priorities so we know what is the first priority, second priority, the things that are most likely to get us into business, into momentum now, just like the running example, right? You put your shoes on and you run down the freaking street, and then you get home and you take your shoes off.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I need to rework my GPS so that I
Sweet.
can just do those 3 and then I'll be good.
Hey, baby. What's that, baby?
This is Carla.
Hey, Carlo. Okay.
This is the why, the big why.
All right. Well, you got to
Little
make it
why.
happen then. That's right. My one of my big whys is 15 and a half now. So people go like, what happened in 2009, Brian? What happened in 2010? It's like, I had kids. Yeah. And I have a 4.5-year-old too. So that's why I keep going. Ask yourself if this activity will get you paid. Love it. Anybody else?
Yeah, I had a thought. First of all, Emily, everything has changed. You do have to redo your GPS. Everything in your whole entire life has changed right now. No, what I really did was sell everywhere, but really hone in on where you want to farm. And yeah, I really like that. And I try to teach my people that. But when you're new, because I'm a productivity coach, when you're new, everything comes at them and everybody wants to go everywhere. But I really, really like that reminder of doesn't matter where you go. And I was going to ask you about that. Your recommendation for open houses for new people. Everybody goes, oh, where's the open house going to be? Oh, it's going to be in Santee. Oh, it's going to be in Vista. Oh, it's going to be wherever. Everybody goes, well, that's not my farm. In my young career, I would go everywhere, but then start to farm in one particular area. Is that still a good idea, or do you suggest something else?
If possible, if there's an area that they can focus in, like for me, it was an area that I already lived, right? So I looked for how many open houses could I host in one area over and over again, right? Because again, based on your area, I don't know if you could do this or not, but in my area, you could have a sign with your name and phone number on it. Right. So what I thought is like, if I got a bunch of signs with my name and phone number on it associated with the word real estate in my neighborhood, and there's like 10 or 12 signs out there, or 15 signs or whatever from all different directions, and they all say Brian Martin with my phone number with real estate every weekend over and over again, all of a sudden people go like, man, you must sell a lot of houses. It's like, actually, I just stand in them. But they think you're like owning it. You know what I mean? And there's actually a guy here in Austin that built a huge business on open houses, and it's because he in this one golf course community, you could just drive down the street, and sometimes I just did it and I said a bad word along with his name, because it would just have his name with the sign, open house with the balloons, open house. I'm just like, that's how he built that area. That's how he dominated that area, because when he had one listing, he just held it open all the time. And then he got more listings because people thought he held all these, he owned, like he was the agent of that area. And it became true because over time he just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And I think a lot of times if you find the people that successfully, it's part of a geographic farm, they go over that in the 7-step open house in the shift book. Here it is, page 71. So it's the 7th level is sign in the yard with balloons and riders, directional signs with all key corners, flyers the week before, and email invites. Go invite the neighbors, 100 of them. Get on the phone that morning and remind everyone. Level 7 ads hold 4 other open houses in the area in various price ranges.
Got it.
That's why I think that one's genius. I have other steps I would add too, which is like you actually call everybody the day after you hold the same day you hold the open house, and you set appointments with all of them, and then you call them all again on the following Monday, and then you call them all again. You see a trend?
Yeah.
And then you call them all again. You invite them to the next open house the next week. Hey, I know you're interested in this one. I have another one coming up. You'll be excited to know it's right down the street from the other. Come visit me, right? Anything else?
Brian, you don't call them if they have a realtor that they can tell you the name of, do you?
I don't do anything that would break the law.
Okay. But if they say they have a realtor and they like couldn't dredge the name up or didn't tell you who it was or something, how do you do your signups? I guess I should ask at
if you needed to call your realtor and have them do something, how would you get in touch with them? And then I would listen for their answer. And I would say, okay, how about we do this? Do you want to just let me know, like, what if I give you my information, or can I send you my information such that then you have it? if you need real estate and for whatever reason, it sounds like maybe you don't know how to get in touch with that other realtor.
I like that. I've never heard that.
But I would not overtly break any laws in ethics or morals.
Got it.
Ching.
Thank you, Brian. Oh, was someone else talking?
No, that was just me going ching.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was.
Thank you so much for being here. End of day. We appreciate it. End of day for you, because I know that is a special time and we got all your goodness from the day. Tons of nuggets. Any last questions? Submit them to me and I will do my best to get them answered. Otherwise, y'all, thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody. Have an amazing day and we'll see you Monday. Toodles.
Thank you.